Welcome back, guys. So let's continue on with our extravagant journey of creating a randomized and hopefully efficient and effective exams through Moodle. So what we did in our previous video is that we set up our multiple choice questions and we save them as a text file ready for import. So what we can do now is jump onto your Moodle page, and in the top right hand corner, I want you to click the main cog and then go down and click more. You're going to get a wide variety of different settings here. We're going to scroll down and I just want you to click on Question Bank. Because what we want to do now is set up our questions into a question bank. Now, I want you to think of this as like the main storage vault. And then what we're going to do in the next couple of videos is set up an exam and basically tell the exam, here is where you can find the questions. Now, again, this is a little bit more prep work, but the big thing here, and my justification for setting this up in terms of question banks, is that you can add and change these questions on the fly without having to update or change your exams. They will automatically update and change based upon the changes you made in these question banks. So this is kind of a thing where, like, once you've set it up, you can kind of leave it and just periodically add questions or remove or adjust questions based upon, like, you know, your own data and your own student feedback. So we're going to click on categories. Now, I have lots and lots of different categories. I want you to please ignore that. And what we're going to do is create a new category. Now, how this works is that this is like creating a new folder on your computer. Okay, this is sort of a group. Now, I'm going to create a new one, and the parent category for this isn't too imperative. This just sort of demonstrates the hierarchy in which you're structuring your folders. So for me, I'm just going to place it as sort of top for my course, and I'm going to call it Moodle Demonstration and Trimester Exam. And I'm going to click Add Category. Now we can see that new category I made is just here. So we've got the name and we've got a little number next to it to suggest how many questions are in here. Now, what I want to do is create additional categories to divide my questions up. So this is where we left off in the previous video, in that looking at our overall question bank. So let's say again, I have 100 multiple choice questions that I want to use for my exam. I want to have that split up into each module. So I'm going to create another category for each of those. Now, that may not make much sense. So let me show you. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to create another category, but for the parent category, I'm going to choose Moodle Demonstration End of Trimester Exam. And then I'm going to name this new category multiple choice section. Then I'm going to click Add Category. And what we can see here, we have our main category, and then I've put a little subsection here. Now, as I've previously stated, for me personally, I'm going to have 5 different modules. So what I'm going to do is essentially repeat this same step 5 different times. So the parent category, I'm going to choose End of Trimester Multiple Choice Section. And I'm going to put, let's say, multiple choice questions, cardiovascular system. Add category. And I will repeat this step 5 times. So what we can see here is I've created sort of a main category saying End of Trimester Exam. So this is, in my mind, all of the questions I want to include in my End of Trimester Exam. I now have them broken down into 5 main categories, and you can use these arrows to sort of move these categories around. So let's say, for instance, GIT is 3rd in the course. I can choose to move this down one run. So now it's down here. Again, this isn't overly important, but if you want to keep it structured and organized in that way, then please feel free. Now, the next step that we need to do is import our questions. Now, how it is that we import these questions is that we go to our question bank and we have import. So if we click on import, we see a couple of options here. The first one is our file format. Now, the formatting that we have been using, in which it was like question title, multiple choice responses, and then the correct answer, that is the Aiken format. So I'd like you to click this very top option. And then in general, this tab by default will be closed. We want to open this because we want to choose where these questions are going. This is why we went to so much effort back here to separate all these different categories so we can choose exactly where our questions are going to be imported to. So we go to general, we're just going to untick this, and we are going to start off by importing our first lot of multiple choice questions. Then it says import questions from file. So we will choose that file. So this is where we saved our text document previously in our previous video. So I'm just going to select this first one and click open. Click upload this file. And we can see here that our text document has uploaded. You could also click and drag your file into this area if that is easier for you. You then click import. Now we can see that this was successful. Okay, we can see it has imported 6 questions from file. Now, if there was a problem with one of your questions, this is where there would appear to be an error and the entire process would stop. Fortunately, it will also show you where you had that error. So it gives you a bit of an idea as to where you need to look in your Word document. Now, if I go back to my categories, I can see now, if I look at my multiple choice questions, I have a 6 next to it because I just successfully imported 6 multiple choice questions into this category. Now, for the rest of your questions in your exam, you would do the exact same process. You would simply go to import. You would choose the Aiken format. Under general, you will untick get category from file. And where it says multiple choice, we want to now import, let's say, respiratory. I'm going to import a question from file. So I'm going to open up where I saved my exam questions. Oh, it was renal, not respiratory. That's okay, because we can just go back and change it here. Then we go to renal, click and drag, and we click import. Again, there were no errors, which is a good thing. And we look at our categories and we can see now that they are being populated. So what we're going to do is in the next video, I'm going to show you how we can expand upon this to add some short answer questions. And then we're going to explore actually creating our exam. I'll see you in the next one.